Hello and welcome to another section of Conquering freeCodeCamp. Finally, we got to the project. I couldn't wait for this, and we're finally here. We're going to start today by building the random quote machine project. And after we finish these 5 projects, we will be able to get our certification, the third one, which is pretty exciting. Now let's go over what we learned so we can see what we can use to build the project. We learned Bootstrap as a CSS framework, then jQuery, Sass, and then we went into React. We also looked at Redux and how we can use Redux with React. So my idea is to use Bootstrap and React to build this project, because this is what we learned, right? I mean, if I would do it from scratch without without being part of the freeCodeCamp curriculum, I would probably use another CSS framework or maybe build it from scratch. I mean, the CSS have it from scratch, but let's use Bootstrap, because why not? It should be fun. Now, let's see. The first one, random quote machine. Objective, build a CodePen app that is functionally similar to this. So let's see how this works. Alright, so we can see this is a pretty simple app. It has a quote, the author, and then you can share it on Twitter and Tumblr. And you can press this button. It will change the color, it will change the quote and the author. Also, you can share it and this will change also. So yeah, this looks like a perfect example for our first React app, which will be a little more sophisticated than what we built so far in the challenges. So let's see. Design wise, maybe I would keep the same sort of look like this one. I don't want to go crazy with the design, so this works. We have a card and the colors change. I'd say this should be fine. Okay, and then we need, let's see. We need an API which will give us the quotes. So let's see. Oh, we have also user stories. So what we need to do in the project to validate it. Okay, code box, text author, new code, read code, text. Okay. Yeah, so basically it's pretty straightforward. Now the only thing they don't provide here is an API we could use to get those random quotes. So we could either get some quotes from the internet and store it in an array, or we can find a random API which will give us random quotes. What would you like to see? I'm asking those of you who are watching live. Let's see, do we have here from this CodePen an API link? Okay, so we have a JSON. Oh, so we could probably get this. We have quote and author, which is good. All right, let's see. So first thing, we want to build want to have the base of the project. They suggest to build this on CodePen, so let's open this and fork this project, which basically has this little tool that with which we can test our user stories. So let's click the fork button here, and now we'll get a copy of this project. I'm going to change the view here, and let's zoom in so you can see better. Now we don't need this, and also this, it just comments. Alright, if you don't know exactly what this tool does, I went over this in the first project we did on the freeCodeCamp curriculum. Build, I forgot, so let me check. In the responsive web design, we build a tribute page. So if you want to check exactly how this tool works, oh well, basically you select here the project, we are random code machine, and then run the tests, and you can see it says which test you passed or not. Okay, so that's that. Now we need to import React, so we want to use it. For that, we already have Babel here. You can do this nicely on CodePen. You can enter React here, press here, and then they'll add the CDN. Also React DOM, and save and close. Let's change this to random code machine freeCodeCamp. Okay, now we have access to React and React DOM. Also we have the Babel parser, so that's good. We need these three. Hello Mihai. We need these three, and now let's create a base component so we can see it works. An app, which will be just a functional component, which returns, let's see, h1, hello, like that. Okay, and we are going to use React DOM at render to put this app inside a div with an ID of, let's create it, oops, an app, div with an ID of app. We're going to put all the JavaScript inside there. There's an echo, let me know. If it doesn't work, in the chat, people from the chat, let me know if this is good. Okay, in the meanwhile, so document get element by ID, and we pass in the ID. So now you can see that we have hello. So basically we have React working, which is great. Good. What else? Let's create some to-dos here to see what we need to do. First, we need to import React and React DOM, like that, which we pretty much did now. Then get the API key, get the API URL. So we have that from this project. Let's store it. Const API, and we're passing it as a string. Okay. Next, create the layout box plus inner content, like that. Content. Okay, maybe style it a bit, or let's make this 5 style, and for 4 add event listeners. So on click basically. Add event listeners. Alright. That's pretty much it in like a rough thing we need to do. And let's see, fix, not fix. We need to check the user stories. Complete user stories. The reason I'm putting this the last is because we just need to make sure we use these IDs. Okay, you could put it first if you want, but yeah. Now, considering that this is a small app, I'm going to just make a component, quote or something, or maybe just do it inside an app. Alright. We don't know about hooks yet, so we didn't learn. That means that we are going to do it the older way with a class component. So let's do that. Class app extends react.component. We don't need a constructor. Let's just put the state here. Then we're going to have a render method which returns, let's put the div back or whatever it was like that div. Okay, we can see it there. And what else? Component did mount. Inside this, call the API and update state. Now the state will be the quote, which will be undefined for now. Okay. Good. Now let's create the box for, let's see, we get the API, create the layout. Okay. For the layout, this could be our box. And inside it, we're going to have a paragraph for the quote text. So quote text. And then underneath, let's see, we're going to need a button for posting on Twitter and the button for getting a new quote. So let's put them in another div. We could use a link for the Twitter button. Ref need to construct the link here. Twitter like that. And a button for get quote. Okay, Joe is asking, can the quote be set to null on undefined empty string? Yeah, whatever you want. Usually if you don't have something, just let it undefined, because now in the render we're going to get the quote from this state. And based on the quote, we can show something. This quote will have, as you can see from the URL, if we're going here under URL, we can see that the quote actually will have a quotes array, and we'll have all the quotes stored in our store. So let's do that. We'll have quotes, and we'll have something, let's see, an index probably to get a random quote. Is this the best? Yeah. And then when we're clicking on the button, we can just get a new index. So the index, initially, let's put it at 0. Okay. So quotes and index. Good. Let's see. You mean empty array? Well, yeah, you can put an empty array and undefined. Let's put empty array if you want empty array. Now we have that. what I'd like to do is to center this so we can see something. For that, let's add Bootstrap, because I said we're going to use Bootstrap. Like that. And here we're going to have a div with a class of row, which will be the parent of this box of ours. Let's see if we need another class or not. Call XS6. And inside it, let's make another div of class box so that we can apply some coloring and stuff on the box. Good. Now, why don't we see, oh, class name. Class name. All right. And our div here, which is the wrapper, should be a class of container. Now, should go to the center. What we're missing? Oh, okay, so it went a little bit. Oh, I see. So we have call XS6, which let's give it the box. Oops, the box a background color of purple. Okay, so you can see it colors, but it's not in the middle. So for that, I guess we can add the box on the same as the column, like that. And now we need to push it to the center. So Bootstrap has a class of justify center, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let's quickly get to the docs. Get Bootstrap. There is a class to push it to the center. Justify. Flex justify content. Display flex justify content. Okay. Alright. So that we need to say display flex and justify content where we want. Alright. Display flex, justify content center. Good. Now we also want to center it vertically. So for that, we need this parent to have a height of 100 viewport heights. So 100 VH height. Does they have something for? Yeah, V height 100%. Now we want, oh, okay, VH 100. Sorry, VH 100 like that. If we're adding this to our component now, it should be 100%, and we should also be able to align it to the center with, I think it is align. I haven't used these classes, so I need to see. Align center, vertical alignment. No. Let's look at the flex box. Justify, okay, align items. So align item center. Good. Now with this class, we should be in the middle now. Hopefully. No? Flex. Let's add a test class and see why it's not working. A little debugging. Test should be background color pink. We have VH 100, but apparently it doesn't want to pick it up. So let's see why not. We're going to use the might inspector. To VH 100. Maybe they don't have it anymore or something? Well, if that won't work, then we're going to add a wrapper class and we're going to force it here to be height 100 viewport heights. Like that. Okay. So now there is it in the middle. Perfect. What we can do also is to have container fluid. It will go all the way, almost, as a margin. I wanted to see how we can add that background color. Okay, let's worry about that later. Now we have the box in the center. Let's remove these ugly colors and use some classes for padding. Do we have utility classes for padding or margin or not? Spacer. I got used to using Tailwind. So now I forgot if Bootstrap has spacing utilities. Okay, so we have these. Alright, so we have basically what Tailwind has, which is nice. If we say something like for the box, if we say padding 5, we need to have a background color, obviously. So let's add on the body. As you can see, I don't have anything planned, so we're doing as we go, which is nice for you, those of you who are watching, because you can see the thought process and everything behind it. I don't have a script, so I do everything perfectly. We're just twiddling around until it works. Okay, so now that's pink, and I want the box to be background color white. Okay, good, finally. Let's look again for a border radius. Rounded. Look at that, so basically they have a lot of classes similar to Tailwind. So on the box, why I'm adding these classes is that we don't need to code all of the border radius and everything. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Good. So basically we have now that I still don't see the box to be half. So what if we do this? Yeah, still takes up only a part, which I don't know why. Okay, apparently doesn't affect. Alright, finally. So call 6. Hey Ivan, finally. Why do you have to stream while I'm cooking? Well, you should stop cooking then. Alright, perfect. So now we have our little box. I would like padding. Let's see again. What was the margin and paddings? We had up to 6, up to 5. Alright, I wanted a little more. Anyway, that's good enough. Now let's add the button classes to our button. And also the button class to the link, btn and btn primary. Now they will look nicer. Okay. Around them we have this div, which I also want to be class of, class. We need class name because we're in React. Let's not forget that. A flags and justify content space between. So this should push them apart. Hopefully? No? No? Why not? Justify content between. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Bye, Adrian, Mihai, Andrei. I don't know how to call him. You have all the 3 names there. Alright, take care. Good. So we have that. Let's have a bigger text so we can see how it looks. Lauren 20 here. Generate this text using Emmet. And then we can put it inside here. Oops. Alright, so now we're starting to get something. Okay, I had to drink some water, I'm thirsty. Good. Good. I don't like the padding all around to be 5, so maybe padding X. Let's see what padding the all 6 has by default. Ooh, not that nice. So maybe padding 3 and padding top should be 5. Nah. Well, let's not spend that much time on that. Okay. This should say tweet. That get quote. Even though we have the BTM primary, we're going to change them to use our own color. All right, which we can also store in the state, or we can a lot of possibilities. Okay, now let's do the important part. Let's take the quote from the API. We're rambling around here, but what we need to do is to call the fetch API, and we need to pass in our API. Then we need to store the results, the response, res.data, and then the response here. We can console.log to see the response. Let's see what we get. Hopefully, okay, this is too large to see. All right, let's see in the console. We should have an array of an object with quotes, 102 quotes. Okay, so let's store this. Oh, I need to take a look again to see what exactly do we get. So an object, quotes, which is an array. Okay. Why it's an object with an array? Let's store this in our state. So this.setState, we want our quotes to be the response for now. Good. Hopefully this will put the quotes there. Now let's console.log. We get the quotes from the state. Quotes of 0. Let's see if this works. Or do undefined. Alright. Then quotes.quotes. Quotes.quotes of 0. Object error. We need to debug exactly what we get. Looks like an object with a property of quotes, then an array of objects. So quotes. I want to see in the console. Cannot proper 0 undefined. Oh, because first will be undefined. Quotes. We do a little check there. What am I missing? Yeah, we have it. We should have it on the state. Somewhere. I have no idea where. Oh well. Let's send our energy to Florin. Yeah, I need it for all the projects. So the codes, I guess it's rest that quotes. Object error. Why? Okay, empty array then. Sorry, it's too long. Alright, finally. So yeah, there was a object. This is the object that we're getting, and we have a quotes property on that object, which is an array. So if we want to store the array of quotes, we get it from that. All right, so now we have all the quotes. What we want to do is to get a random quote. Now what should, let's see. We're going to create a function get random quote, and this we need to get the quotes and the index, I think. Do we want to get a random quote from here or set the index? And then we could use the index here to get a random quote from this array. Let's do that. Set get random index. It will get the quotes, and if we have the quotes, quotes that length, do we need to do this check? We'll have an array. We'll either have an array with 0 items, then the index should be 1. Yeah, so let's do quotes at length bigger than 0. If we have that, then we need to get a random index. X will be met.random times quotes.length, and around this should be met.floor. Met.random gives us a number from 0 to 1. Then we're multiplying it with all the length of the array, and which will give us a number from 0 to up to the length of the array minus 1. So for example, in this case is 102, and it will get a number from 0 till 102. So 101, close to that. But it will be with decimals, so we need to out that remove those decimals. So we're using met.floor. And now we can just set the state. This set state, and we're setting the index. Hopefully now we have our random index. Good. We can also call this get random index in this that sets after we're getting the quotes, right? I guess we can do it as a callback here. I'm not 100% sure. Ivan, does freeCodeCamp requires you to use a class component or just preference? Oh, that's right. Yeah. They don't require what library to use or anything, but I'm using a class component because this is what we learned so far in our curriculum. So we haven't learned about hooks. Okay, now let's see this. Inside we need to target the keyword, so we need to convert this to an arrow function. And let's see our index, console.log index. now hopefully if this works, 0. Okay, let's see if it goes here. No, so probably this wasn't a good idea to call it here. Let's just call it this dot get, oh, maybe because it's this dot get random index. Okay, look at that. So it works. 0, 0, and then 60. Perfect. We have the quotes, we have the index. What we want to do is say quote, quotes of index. And now if everything worked as we planned, here we should have quote of, I'm not sure what it was, quote, I don't like that. All right, quote, and also quote author. Finger crossed, no? Oh, if we have the quote. So basically, let's do a check. Quote and this. Okay. Oh, not inside the button. What I'm doing? Hey, what I'm doing here? Need to do it inside the paragraph, not the button. Why no one corrected me? The button should say tweet. Okay. Quote, inside the paragraph. Oh boy, doing so well. And also this should go inside. Now. Okay, finally. It took longer than expected. So, we're checking if we have a quote. If we do, we're putting it inside our paragraph. I guess this author should go in another... Yeah, let's put it in a span or something. Or another paragraph. So how to do that? Put another paragraph like that, and then we get this quote. Create a wrapper, a master wrapper for all of these paragraphs. I have an obsession with alignment and everything, so sorry about that. Now we have a div. Inside we have 2 paragraphs, and they're only going to show if we have a quote. So let's use cite tag. Cite? There is a cite tag. Oh, interesting. I didn't know. Okay, sure. So let's use a cite tag. Alright. And we want this to be a class of text right, which should push it to the right. No. If we do display block fill. Okay, good. Also on this class, we want some margin class name. I keep forgetting to add class name. Okay, like that. Okay, class name. Margin bottom 3. Alright, and we have little spacing there. Good. That's perfect. Now, what we want to do next? When we're pressing the button, which is a little misaligned here, when we're pressing this button, the get quote button, we want to have an on click, which will basically call this dot get random index. And if we did everything correctly, now if we press the button, look at that. We're going to get a new quote every single time. This man knows his Bootstrap. Yeah, I used to use Bootstrap more, but yeah. Alright, so we kinda have this. Now another thing, we need to construct the Twitter URL. Blah 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 ID. This ID should include Twitter/intent/pet its URL. Its ref. So let's write here tweet URL. Should be this HTTPS like that, and I guess we can use something like where is that? Okay, tweet, and here quote dot quote dash quote dot author. Now and bad part will be that we won't have a quote, so this will be an error. You can see that it don't works now. I have an idea how we can fix this. Let's just copy an object and have one single object here in our array. This is not the best, but this way we don't get error. Array object like that. Good. Spacing everything nicely. Good. So now by default we have this live whatever, and we have the Twitter URL, which we can use here. Tweet URL. So now if we hover over Twitter intent tweet unexperienced blah blah blah, let's do target blank like that, and hopefully now if we're clicking we should, sorry, that page doesn't exist. Perfect, that's exactly what we want. Maybe because we need, where is it, after the tweet another slash? Wait. No. Should include twitter.com intent tweet, path in its ref attribute to tweet the current code. So that's not very exact on how we should do it, so let's just copy this. Twitter.com intent tweet, and we need a question mark followed by text equals. Okay. So freeCodeCamp, you forgot to tell me that. So question mark text equals that. Alright, you may be disappointed if you fail, but you're doomed if you don't try. Haha, nice. Let's add a space around this so that works. We can also quickly add font awesome. Where are you? Font awesome. And we can have here next to the tweet a I tag with the class name of FA Twitter. And finger crossed we should see, yeah, look at that. Good. And the quote Should add a icon to the quote. I don't know. Something with randomness. Class name FAS and probably FA random. Probably that's not an icon. Oh, look at that. Apparently it is. Haha, good. I don't like the buttons, they are too big, so btn small. Is that a class in Bootstrap? No, btran is sm. Kind of. Yeah, okay. That's it again, and now we should have smaller buttons. Yay! So we kind of have it. I don't want this pink color. Oops. Okay, but now we need a color. Now this will be a tricky one because I want to set a random color to the background, to the text, to the buttons. I want to do it like this, yeah. Do they have an array of colors probably? Or do it just generate a color? Okay, yeah. It has an array of colors. Thinking. Color primary. Sorry. Bar color primary. I'm not sure if Bootstrap has CSS variables. Colors, text. Would it be okay to set the B value only in the RGB color with two colors already set? I'm not sure what you mean. What I want to see here, their color, yeah, they're set directly, so they don't have CSS variables. Okay. So, well, basically, let's go flat UI colors. Let's take a color, not worry about doing the random color. That should be fine. We put this and we have those colors. We could set to be background info, button info. Like, ooh, I don't like better primary. Okay. Right. Maybe around the site we could use strong. Nah, that much better. Let's use strong. Well, these are all just nah, doesn't look right out. So these are just simple. I mean simple. We're just playing around now. It's not necessary to this. Let's run the. I mean, let's fix the test. Okay. So we have React, we use the API, we created the layout, we added the event listener, we styled it, and let's complete the user story. So for that, we need to add all these IDs. I can see a wrapper with the corresponding quote box. Okay, so for our box, ID quote box. Next. I can see an element with the corresponding ID text. Sure. ID text. Then I guess this will be ID author. Like that. Yeah. I can see a clickable element with the corresponding new quote. Okay, this will be our button. BTN on click. Let's add an ID of new quote. Within quote box, I can see a clickable element with the corresponding tweet quote. Okay, sure. So let's paste this out. All right, something like that. Be nicer. ID with quote. Next. On first load, my quote machine displays a random quote. Okay, on first load, my quote machine displays a random quote author. When new quote button is clicked, blah blah blah. Should fetch new quote. I can tweet. Or wrapper should be horizontally centered. Alright. So if we did everything correctly, although it doesn't yet look that good, we could tweak the colors and stuff. It should work. We should pass the tests. Ooh. Yay! So that's that. Let's see how we can improve it. I kind of like this big ass quote here. So I would like to add that. Everything at this point on is just optional. Make this look prettier, although it's not required. I'm adding more spacing. Oof. I wanted to add spacing to have that quote. Thinking, where should be the quote? Let's add it here. Class name FA quote. I think it has quote double or something. So let's go to Phantasm. FA quote left. Thank you. Okay, where are you? Here. So FA quote left. Good. Now we have the quote. Let's make it FA 2x bigger. Okay. And what I want to do is to position it absolute inside this box. Let's see if Bootstrap gives us classes for positioning. Position OK, perfect. Fixed top, fixed bottom. Now stick it up. Alright. So we have the positions. We have top or something. Alright. I guess for our box here, we can say position relative. And for FA quote left, we can say position absolute. And oops, top 0, left 0. Alright, we could do top 10 pixels, left 10 pixels. Alright, and we can add an opacity. 0.6 or something. Sort of. Let's go back to padding 4. Yeah, that doesn't look right. FA normal? Oh well. Yeah, sort of. Okay. What else? background. I want to get the values for the colors as I want to use them. So inspect, get the button here, want the button, and get this color. So now instead of our own blue, let's add this, and it should look a little better. I didn't copy it right. Background, no, not hover, the button. Computed background color. Alright, this one. Okay, good. Alright, so that looks better, I guess. Okay, so we get it to work and it's decent. Maybe make the text bigger. There is a class text size. No. Text. No. Sizing. Nope. Where were you? Colors, display, float. There was a property, so text large or something. That mean heights a box doesn't reach size. To our box, you mean? Oh, I see. We should be FA6. Where it is? Sorry, call 6. But on mobile, call XX 12. Okay. Don't have XS anymore. What's happening, boys? Oh well. I'll do it responsive enough. What I was doing, yeah, the text. Paragraph, class, text large, or not text large, was, let's find it. Font weight, no. Bigger text. Okay, I have another idea then. If they don't give us a class, then we can use H4. H5. Okay, well, I think this should be fine. We get what they want. You can work on it. Still don't like that quote. That's something like this, maybe. Very subtle. Okay. That's a little better. Alright. Let's save this. I'm going to send it to you so you can get the code. And I'm going to submit it here. As a challenge for you would be to take this and to add that random color stuff. Basically what you would want to do is to store probably an array of colors like they did here, and then have another index from that random color, or not, just have an array of colors and call a function which will return a random color from that, and then you can put it as a style property on the buttons and on the body. That will be a tricky one, to put the color to the body. I want to see how you do that. Alright, so here we have it. Our pretty decent. It doesn't look the best, but whatever. RGB and randomize the last number only. Yeah, but that it only be randomizing the blue. Rather, you should use HSL and randomize the H. So then you get the whole spectrum of colors. Yep. Alright. We have 4 more projects left. So let's go to them, I guess. I'm going to stop this live stream and do another one, like in 10 minutes or so, for those of you who are watching live. If you're watching the recording, as usual, you can find a playlist in the description where you can find all of the projects we did, all of the sections, everything. If you have, for those of you who are watching, if you have questions, oh boy, it took an hour to do it. If you have questions, let's discuss on Discord, or you can say it quickly here in the chat. But yeah, I think it was pretty straightforward. Alright, let's close this. And okay. Alright, I'm glad you don't have questions. See you in the next one. Take care in the meantime. Bye.